Welcome to Clixed Off, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at LuckyDiceCafe.com. And now for your hosts, Daniel Powell, Jason Alvey, and Tylor Speeds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Clixed Off today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everyone know that Clixed Off is brought to you by TrollandToad.com. TrollandToad.com is the world's largest Heroclix retailer. Find Heroclix new and old on Troll and Toad. Use coupon code CLIXEDOFF for 5% off your Heroclix order. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. And if you like what you hear today on Clixed Off, check us out at patreon.com/clixedoff. $1 and above gets entered into our monthly giveaways. $5 and above gets access to our exclusive Heroclix Patreon server on Discord. I don't know, I may have said that just wrong way, but we help out a lot of folks on our Heroclix Discord that are in the $5 and up category. So check us out there if you like what you see or hear, depending on if you're on YouTube or Podbean or Google Podcast or Apple Podcast. But joining me today, we have a full cast today. Jason is now in the 2020s with his wireless headphones, Alvey.
Yeah, I hope not to assault your ears with static today.
Yeah. And then we have Tylor, the Watcher Spees.
No. Absolutely.
Oh, I like that.
And then you have also, lastly but not leastly, joining us, Alex. You are about to get emotionally modified Cruzz.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tylor, Uwatu play Uwatu. That's kind of close. Yeah.
Okay.
Who ought to play Uwatu? Yeah. There we go.
Who ought to play Uwatu?
Yep.
That
sounds like something from Moana or something.
Got a lot of comedians recently. Okay.
So today, we don't have a lot of Heroclix news or previews to talk about or any new rules articles. So we'll talk a little bit about what we've been playing, some of Tylor's recent wins.
With this plural.
Yeah.
His recent wins.
Yeah.
Wins. Well, you won.
We had multiple wins in the tournament.
Yeah, you had multiple wins in the tournament. Yeah.
That's fair.
And then we'll talk a little bit. We'll go into some of the depths of action economy there, and then we want to talk a little bit about Heroclix singles prices and some of the craziness we've seen. I don't know, probably this whole quarantina time. So, but specifically around the Dooms. So. Tylor, Alex, and I played in the Chicago online Heroclix tournament this past weekend.
No. Championship. Hold on. Chicago Clix Mafia official World Championship was the name of the tournament.
2. Wasn't it 2?
Was it 2? I don't know. I
think it was officially 2 at some point. Yeah.
It was I think it was their second one because they're counting the one in December 2019.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they're counting the World Championship starting with the one that was in the summer.
Oh, so it's like the World Championship.
That's the ones, yeah. Yeah, because that was the one that was online. And
so why didn't that person get a bye, too?
That was Matt, wasn't it?
No, Matt won their 2019 thing.
Oh, then never mind.
2019.
I'm making that up. Maybe that was like some summer thing they were talking about then.
Okay.
That was the Punch Stravaganza.
That's it. Thank you. The Punch Stravaganza.
Yeah, so... okay. So congratulations, Tylor. I think we can talk about, Tylor, what you played, how your matches went, and what you thought of your team, and Alex and I both played, and we can kind of go from worst to best here. I'll start out with my play. My play was terrible. My team wasn't as good as I thought. And my dice were also quite terrible. So it's like one of those. It's like if one of those three things doesn't happen, I can probably maneuver around it. But nope, I had all three working against me. So I'll go ahead and just answer the first question that I got just for me. And it was from Richard Shaw. Dan, after playing with Marquis of Death, what are your thoughts on the character now? Marquis is fine. I think I think he is still good. I think he is probably better positioned post rules change. There was two things that I did not like about him specifically. That was his lack of penetrating damage, and two was his lack of improved targeting hindering. Now that second one could have been more of an issue with my dice. I missed a 5 with 3 probability controls on Roll20, so it went 3, 4 crit hit, then I was probbed, and then miss. So, and it wasn't even a crit miss, so I couldn't even call in a trouble alert. So I think Marquis has his place. I also ran into some action economy issues that Tylor might be talking about because I didn't have quite as many characters as I could have. So I think that the change to Cosmic Energy will help him out quite a bit, the willpower thing. Yeah. So I ended up going 1-3 with my only win being the first round bye. I am now also currently 3 for 3 of doing the worst possible that I've ever done in tournaments when I get the first round bye.
That's something to keep track of, yeah.
I will say as someone who played against your Marquis of Death, they are definitely annoying to go against because they take, minimum 3 to take out, if you don't Pulse Wave, of course. Like 3 hits.
5, right? Yeah, you got to deal 5 to them because they got Invincible.
Right, so it's a minimum of 3 hits, 5 to get them to whatever.
No, it's 5. It's 5 knocks them from start to stop, right. And then you got to deal them 3 more damage to get them past that.
Oh, yeah. But there's not a lot of things that have 5. I guess there's a certain amount of things that have 5 damage, but.
Yeah, and they're good, obviously. Still, Alex Smith, is that his name? Made top. He was running him. He was actually running him with the alchemical fire to give him penetrating energy explosion. So that's a possibility there. It also didn't help you that you were running a team where your lowest range is 9 and half the field had bishop. So that was probably not a help to you.
Yeah, that was I played against 2 bishops, didn't help. But I think as far as Marquis goes, right, Marquis was fine, but bishop hurts like a lot of things, right?
Yeah, so there was 20 builds, and there was, I think, 9 or 10 bishops. So, yeah, he's gonna be out there. You have to plan for him for sure.
Yeah. Now, didn't we? I think we had bishop as like S or A's, right, on our ranking.
I think I had him as S, if I remember correctly.
Pretty sure, and yeah, it wasn't a super hard read, right? He's obviously incredible.
And that's before we knew that. Like, we gave him S knowing, all right, X-Men is basically what he's going to be on. And then we got the Dooms that now makes him on Latveria. Like, we ranked him before we knew he was going to be on a lot of teams. Like,
that's right.
We were like, if X-Men gets big, but even if they don't, maybe non-theme will use them. But now it's like, okay, now he's like S+, because he can fit on so many builds and still be thematic.
That's right. Yeah, so Tylor had him as S, Alex had him as S, and I had him as S.
Yep, there you go.
So
it was pretty much a no-brainer.
Go us, right?
Sure. That's one figure. We'll see how the rest of it.
I think you had 4 figures in S. I had 3. Alex had 5 when it came to the tier maker. And things we can, I don't know, maybe talk about that just a moment, right, of what we saw, just kind of a checkpoint, right? Not a detailed checkpoint, right? So you had, and this is only S, right? I mean, A, we were okay on. S, you had Mother, made top cut. So, I mean, it was a smallish field, right? And it's only the first event of any largeness. Bishop, Maggot, and Waldo?
I admitted Waldo might have been.
Remain to be seen. Remain to be seen.
True.
Post rules, he gets better, doesn't he?
He does. Because I think. I don't know if he's
maybe.
But one quick thing to keep in mind about this event, this was also the House of X coming out party, because this was the first, even though Future Foundation just happened, this is the first big one the House of X was legal that people played in. So,
right.
And have had time to practice and
that's right.
get going with. So that's why I feel like there's so many House of X figures.
Yeah.
Could be.
So mine was Bishop, of course. Rare Magneto, which I don't think there was any of. Maybe there was, but I don't know. Nothing.
There was at least one.
Yeah, and then Krakoa, Chase. I don't think we saw any. And then Alex had Bishop, Maggot, which made the top cut. Juggernaut, which we didn't see any builds of. Mother, and then Omega, which we saw no Omegas. So just a checkpoint, nothing to judge long term about, right? At this time.
There was one Chase Krakoa though.
Was there?
Yeah, Andrew Krempek.
Yep.
he played Krakoa.
Yeah.
40 points. So
that's right.
Yeah, obviously.
So, but I think we're doing okay on our rankings there, right? I mean,
sure.
But that's how my day went. Not a lot to talk about. I don't know. There's no real big event yet to plan for again. And we're due some rulings from WizKids. So hopefully those come sooner than later.
Yeah.
I mean, and the rule book, right? I mean, so it's the end of February. Pre-release for Wonder Woman comes out in March, and then the full set release comes out in April. So, I mean, they're not expecting us to hold pre-releases. They're just going to give some stores product early, right? That's how the last pre-release went. We're not going to get to play with the new rules during the pre-release. It's going to have to be when the full set comes out in April. So maybe then they'll release all the erratas and clarifications and updates that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, we'll see. It's been a while. When did House of X come out?
Last January sometime.
Yeah.
Was it January? Okay.
Real early, like
January
the first
6th or something.
Yeah, the first week of January.
Oh yeah, because it got delayed to January. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're approaching like 7 weeks, with Psylocke, Psylocke Jean, right? Like if this was like a normal year, right? Like if we weren't in the middle of a panoramic, that it probably would have been fixed by now, I would have guessed. But like if there was an official WizKids event, Jean and Psylocke would not be banned because they don't ban things. So all of these smaller events are banning things. So just something to think about. I don't know if there's any conclusion there, but boy, I sure wish we had clarification on some stuff.
Yeah.
Rulings, I should say. Rulings. Wish we had rulings. So. Alex.
It's a little unusual that we don't, but I guess it's because they are gonna make so many erratas with the new rules, so it's like, guys, we're so focused on new rules, like we'll fix these, but we got all these erratas to make.
Yeah, and in their eyes, right, they don't have any tournaments, so, you know.
Which that hasn't really stopped them, though. I mean, they usually fix things. It's just for whatever reason, I think it's just they're so focused on the new rules. That's my assumption. I mean,
yeah, and that's kind of fair, right? You just got to have a ton of stuff going on in the background of that.
I mean, they did a watch list.
Rules team is working on. That's true too.
Yeah, I mean,
took 3
they
months.
know that tournaments are happening.
Yeah, they do. I'm just saying WizKids is not running tournaments is more my point there.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. So Alex, you fared a bit better than I did.
I got top 4.
Yeah.
Who did you get third?
I don't know if we actually did points or saw. I don't know.
Well, it's normally just like whoever was the higher seed out of the two of you. I don't know who the other guy was.
I was 11th, so I doubt it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Going
probably
into the top cut. I mean, I don't know if I scored more points in the final game of that round or something, but
yeah.
But I did much better than I expected, having not practiced the team at all. Going in with double Doom Chases, Valeria, 2 Dark Phoenixes, Bishop, and that was it? No. Yeah, that was it.
Your objects.
Yeah, objects. I had Spin Ring. Emotional Modifier, which I didn't learn, was wrong on Realms until Top Cut. Because I would, not that it wasn't like a make or break. Like, it didn't end my games. I guess I could have used it against Dan, because Dan, you mind controlled me once or twice. So lo and behold, I could have done Battle Fury.
What did it say on Realms that was incorrect?
It said opposing characters within 4 in line of fire, but it's just characters within 4 in line of fire. There's no opposing for hate. Okay. So I was just like, oh, well, I never used it for hate. The only time it ever came up for me was during my game against Ken Small, because I used the -1 attack, because he had so many figures. I was like, all right, I'll charge in with Doom, Lord Doom, use that to kind of lower their attack afterwards, so they're, -2 attack when attacking him, unless he gets outwitted. Right. Problem is he's outwit susceptible. That's the downside. True. But so it was successful then, but yeah, I mean, I went 2-2 in the main Swiss rounds, had enough points to make it to the cut because it was kind of a weird cut. Then I beat Nate in the start of the cut. Then I beat PJ. I was gonna have to put an asterisk, but because we realized I missed a key thing with Valeria, but then we realized he missed a key thing with Molecule Man. So it's kind of Heroclix, man. It really got me thinking about how many moving parts there are.
Yeah.
In Heroclix, that's insane to try to keep up with, because Valeria has the trait where if one of your characters KOs something less than them, she gets a token. Well, I always forget about that trait.
It's so
always
hard to keep track of.
And then, so I forgot about that, and that was kind of key to a TK. But he also forgot that Molecule Man can't leave the starting zone, and he had him out of the starting zone for like half the game.
The Pog.
Yeah, the Pog. Right? Yeah, blocking. It blocked Lord Doom from charging in and stuff. So we kind of called it a wash. We're like, yeah, that we kind of, it is what it is. I will say, and this is not to like rag on Tylor or anything with Uatu or anything stupid. He did get Uatu up to like 16 mission points.
Yeah.
And now he built his team to do that. His team was to be able to barrier in and still have some firepower if he needs to do something, but he wasn't going to let you slow play. PJ wasn't. He sat back there, kept doing mind controls to Jean Grey, and then kept earning mission points, which, that ultimately worked because I had to get up there to actually attack. So, yeah, I mean, if I wanted to talk about the team just a little bit, and you'll hear me talk about it on stream and on the videos I'm going to post, Doom Chasers were very good. Being able to have the options. And there were so many bystander creators, like Maggot, Cables, Red Ghost was played other bishops. So having Lord Doom there to say, hey, no bystanders, was huge on the field. The problem is I didn't build the team optimally for that because I played Latvarian Village, so I got 3 villagers, which if they have to have more figures than you to not make bystanders. So I kind of threw that off in a lot of instances.
I run into that too.
Yeah, and half the time I'm like, well, crap. It's like I should have just took you to another map because I have 2 other maps. But yeah, I mean, I was very surprised to beat Nate. That was a good team he played with the Fantastic Four. It was a really good match. He hit a really bad crit miss that he really hurt him bad. If he had done that and taken out my Phoenix, then it would have been a completely different game. And then PJ was like, last action was his turn, and he could have turned it around at that point. Tylor's game, on the other hand, I played Tylor on his way to the finals and the win. Yeah, I mean, Tylor is just a lot more of an aggressive player, and maybe if I had more time under my belt with the team, I feel like I probably could have fared a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's probably all there is to say about that. I made a mistake. I missed the mastermind.
Yeah, that was kind of
Phoenix. Big. Yeah, which was pretty big. And then I missed the place. I missed telling Tylor he couldn't retail because he placed with Valeria.
Yeah, I did. I placed Valeria and then retailed on that one.
Yeah, but it's like we're so used to old retail rules, so it's like I forget sometimes. What's funny is most of my matches I had to stop myself because I'm like, all right, free place with Valeria. Whoop, nope, not gonna do that.
I did that game. I think the turn before I'm like, no, can't roll for that yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was and I'm not saying any of that to be like, oh, Tylor was a cheater or anything. No, it was, he did what he was supposed to do. He hit the rolls he needed to hit. Had the typical Tylor Speeds dice, but that's not the reason he won.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving you props where it's due. You were more aggressive, and I was not able to counter that as well as I wanted. And so it was a fun game, though. I was having a good time because I wasn't expecting. We were joking around saying, "Oh, what if we meet up for the way to the finals?" And then it's like, "Wow, we're actually here." Like, I did not think I was going to do as well as I did. So I was happy with my tournament performance.
So, Tylor, you've got a lot of questions. Then we've got some questions for all of us after that.
I thought you meant. Okay.
No, you've got a lot of questions to answer, Tylor.
So,
okay, yeah, go ahead.
So, let's see. Paul Cote asked about it, and we'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. PJ asked about it. You lost once in the tournament.
I lost once.
And could you tell us what 30-point big-headed figure was on that team?
No. I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I don't recall.
Okay, all right. So, would you like me to refresh your memory?
No.
Could it have been Uatu?
Really? Okay, to be clear, okay, I did not lose the game to Uatu. Okay, Uatu had 5 mission points. Okay, I lost the game to a goddamn Ultra Humanite. Okay.
So what are the Ultra? I mean, like,
is that arguably worse?
Maybe no. Ultra Humanite is leaps and bounds better than that piece of trash Uatu.
Wait a minute. So hold on. Let me think about this a second. So Ultra Huge. All right. So Uatu is 30 points with Cosmic Energy, 19 defense, 12 range probability control.
I'm with you.
Turns into 12 attack, 4 damage.
Yeah, true.
Towards the end of his dial.
Yeah.
And does some mission point thing where if you have a correctly rule or a ruling that works in this particular way, you can get 3 mission points in attack. Now, Ultra Humanite at 25 points is 2 clicks with an 18 defense.
And willpower.
And the Injustice League trait.
That was it.
And 2K and sidestep. Yeah.
He's and the obvious Mike gets through everything. It was so I moved up turn 1 and I had 1 token on my Captain Marvel, and then he rolled his freaking Injustice League and double token her, so she had to skip my next 2 turns. Like, and it just completely killed my aggression. So that's what it was. I mean, obviously PJ played it really well, and I'm not guaranteed to win if I don't hit that. If he doesn't hit that, but I think I'm guaranteed to lose once he does.
So what did he token up again?
My Captain Marvel. I moved her up, and then she got double tokened because of that, and she was just sort of sitting there for my main like offensive turn.
Oof.
So I missed the hypersonic, I missed the ping, and I missed the Chewy like flurry in his back line. That is very crucial to my turn 2.
So this is just relevant. Sorry, y'all probably heard my phone go off. Glass cabinet. We're in case break 8. Sam texted me that I pulled the Herbie and the Rare Prime. And then Sam had some boosters, and she got the Human Torch Legacy card, and she said the booster before me. Guess what was in it?
DJ Doom.
DJ Doom. So I was 1 booster away from getting a DJ Doom. So.
Dang.
So it sounds like, I mean, PJ just had a really well-built team.
Yeah.
Which it's on his page, the Kilted Clixman. You can watch him play it and watch him beat Tylor with the Watu.
On repeat.
There's other
loot.
It's other figures. We don't have to.
If you read, I think Tyler's match may not be the best one to see how well oiled it was. Like, if you look at the match he played against me, it was annoying how well oiled he was able to be like, all right, mind control and prop and prop and prop. All right, and this one and prop and prop and prop. Like, it was just like, even though I ended up winning that match, like, it was a very well oiled machine. And by the time I figured out what he was doing, I was like, oh crap,
yeah,
I got to make a move.
My game was much different. I moved up and then he attacked me. That was it.
I also learned how annoying Molecule Man is. Not the Pog, but the figure.
He's very, 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 very good.
He's stupid.
He's so good. I agree.
I hate that you can't outwit him. It makes me so bad. Can we talk about how bad Outwit is now? Outwit is so bad.
Funny enough is that Eric Adams asks, is Outwit worth going out of your way to make sure it's on your team? And I don't think so.
So
no, there's just...
He said going out of your way.
Well, I agree. You shouldn't go out. The only power you should go out of your way to include on a build is probably leadership. I think none of the other ones are good enough.
Right.
But
except for sidestep and prop, but
debatable.
no, I'm just kidding.
But well, we're saying how bad Outwit is, but it's like one of the best powers of having it to chase dooms, right? They're all susceptible.
Well, so I think you have to naturally have Outwit on your team, right?
Yeah, I agree. You should not go out of your way to put it on the team,
right.
But I don't think you should do that for almost any power.
Yeah, there was just so many matches. Like, the House of X was fine because there was times I could use it, and I didn't have a natural one. Well, actually, I had 1, potentially 2, because Bishop has it, and then Valerius sometimes gives it. And then if I brought in DJ Doom, he would have it, and I just kept, everyone has freaking Cosmic Energy or Protected Outwit like Jason does, Jason Weingard. So it's like, all the times I wanted to use it, I just couldn't. Like, the times I wanted to use it, I couldn't. The times where I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, I got Outwit, I'll just outwit that, I could. But when I really needed it, I couldn't outwit.
Yeah. Just play Possessor, man.
Yep. Oh yeah, I played Joe Pangrazio. He played Maggot with Galactus. Either Maggot had Galactus or.
Oh, so his out protected.
Yeah, so I couldn't outwit him. I was like, why? Why? He was the only person I played against that actually played Galactus. It was kind of cool. I was kind of happy to see Galactus for once.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. We're this is a random kind of show tonight. I mean, I want Tylor to talk about a few more things with his team, but like, it's all about the dooms, right? The event showed us that it's all about the doom chases. The singles prices right now are telling us that it's all about the Doom chases.
You're welcome, America.
Yeah. I remembered his name this time, and by the way, he's a listener of the show, and said he was happy last time that we just I mentioned him by the subject, but Jordan Erickson was the one I mentioned to that. Hey, this guy's got $150 sculpt, but a $60 dial. Well, as we've come to find out, these Doom chases have $100+ sculpts and nearing $200 dials.
Yeah, depending on which one.
Yeah,
they're just so good. And the thing is they just came out, so they're going to be so good for the next 2 years or plus. So your investment is just going to be like for a while, because I mean, in 2 years, hopefully this is all over. So,
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, agreed. So, so between the two of you there, what did you think about? Of course, y'all both started with Annihilating Conqueror, right? So this goes to McConnell Lamar's question. So top 3 on the map Doom chases. So I think I'll let y'all chime in, right? I think it's got to be on the map, right? I wonder if that. Okay, so he also asked what are the top 3 beginning of game Doom chases. So I think that may be back to Force Construction as well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the beginning of game Doom chases and what y'all used them for.
And Annihilating Conqueror is good because it gives you a theme team, right? We were both theme teaming with them. Also, the other thing, right? They lose any keyword not on their dial. That is actually pretty relevant, especially against us, because it takes away Latveria from almost our whole team. So we both only had 2 figures that could theme prob when we played. So that was pretty annoying.
Yeah, it's
and that's
it's
at the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, opposing characters lose all the keywords not printed on their card. So, and so that happens at the check even before you switch them out. Like the check is beginning of the game. When you switch them out, well, that check has already happened for the faux 4. So they lose the keywords. But it is relevant because he might get Power Cosmic. But even then, I never played him. But
no, I didn't either.
So I played 2 chases on my main 4s. Tylor played 1. Just to clarify the difference between the 2. I played Dr. Thing. So Dr. Thing, I think, definitely is in top 3 of starting because Dr. Thing allows you to remove a piece from being played. So I was able to, against Nate White, because I won map roll, I get as active player, I got to choose Dr. Thing to say you cannot bring in super rare Wolverine, and then he did the forming the Fantastic Four and switched people around. So I was able to remove that sideline game element from play. It worked against Tylor also because we both had the many faces of Doom, and I don't know if he was actually going to bring him in, but I took out Doom, I believe is who I said no to, right? Yeah. Or did I say Lord Doom? No, you had Lord Doom. I said no Doom because I didn't want to be limited to 3 costed actions. So I think he's arguably definitely top 3, maybe second, but it depends because there's other decent ones. So
yeah, I think the third one would there's only really 3 with beginning of game effects, right? So the third one is the prisoner, right? Gets you to reroll to go first.
I think so.
Dr. Doom, obviously,
But Dr. Doom was only. Dr. Doom is like one of those asterisk ones, right? Like right now we could say, depending on how his power is ruled, he could be absolutely number 1, being on your sideline and then maiden boarded. But
yeah, it's hard to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, you most like I didn't play him main force just because I liked him more switching in to take away equipment if needed.
That's why I had him too. I never actually used him.
Yeah, his is he doesn't really have a power that's during force construction or anything like that. The only ones that really do is Dr. Thing and Annihilator. The Annihilating Conqueror, right? The other ones don't do anything. Oh, Prisoner. So Prisoner would be third in my book.
Yeah. I agree.
Just because it's a little too risky, whereas Dr. Thing is just being able, and especially if Dooms become more popular, Dr. Thing should be more popular because it could counter other Dooms. So if you're worried about Doom or you're worried about Lord Doom, well, Dr. Thing could be like, yeah, well, if I win map roll, I get to choose that you don't get to play Doom or Lord Doom or Doctor Doom for that matter. Like that could be huge. So those are definitely my three. Well, those are really the only three.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So what was the ones that y'all switched into the most?
Tylor, I know you played what's his face more than I didn't play him at all, but you played Prisoner. I didn't play Prisoner at all. So.
Yeah, I played Prisoner a lot. I like the extra perplex, and I like having. He's a decent attacker, right? He's got the running shot. He's got decent range and movement and stuff. The stealing powers is super cool. I had him with invincible and super senses at one point, so like just for his whole dial. So that's and I think +1 defense as well.
Do you remember what you killed with them to get those? Like just thinking of like how easy they were or how easy it was for you to get powers.
One was a Phoenix, and you get to choose from the entire dial. So right. I just got invincible from that. I think and then Vulcan, Black Vulcan.
You mean impervious?
No, invincible.
Oh, Phoenix. Yeah, the whole dial. I got you.
Yeah, you get the whole dial. Yeah.
It's choose a standard power on the character's card.
Yeah, and then I killed a Black Vulcan. To get super senses, and then I killed a Pog, which you can't actually choose a power from because it has to be from their card, and Pogs don't have a card, so I just choose this +1 defense.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Tylor, who were your top three?
I think top three for onboard. Doom is obviously, I think he has the most general and powerful effect, is the Doom 67 Forearm Doom. So he's probably number one for me. I think my number 2 and 3 are Prisoner and probably Sorcerer, who I think we underestimated. Are my next two. I like Lord Doom, and he definitely has uses, but I don't know. I just
is he a solid fourth?
Yeah, he's definitely fourth for sure. Those are the top four.
So sideboarding, and I think we talked about this today. So Tylor, you're sideboarding Prisoner. Alex, are you sideboarding Prisoner?
I did, and I might. It's hard to tell because in this event it was a flavor of the meta, but we don't know how much of the actual meta we got a flavor for because there was so much House of X. So I don't know how much of that was people really wanting to try out House of X, because I played against almost every match was a Pog match for me. Like almost every. Dan, yours was the only one I think that I did not have a Pog match. Nate didn't have Pog. Well, he had a Dad thing, so sort of Pogs, but I can't counter those, or I couldn't at the time. So it just, for me, Lord Doom was just on my team constantly because I kept going against Maggots and other Pog teams. So for me, it's Doom is 100 is the number one for me by far because he just is stupid good. He's a little annoying that you can't carry him because of Battle Fury, but besides that, he's great. He was MVP for most of my matches. Prisoner for me is fourth. I didn't play him. Maybe I didn't give him the right chance, but I found myself playing Lord Doom and, like you said, Tylor, surprisingly, Sorcerer Supreme, just to have the dual target pen sign. That reroll every attack combos really well for Doom because he's got Flurry. So it's like, okay, I can prob each Flurry and every attack. So all my Phoenixes attacking with Retail and attack. So it's like Retail, reroll, attack, reroll, doom, flurry, reroll. Like I had so many rerolls and theme team props. So I didn't have a single person on my team that had actual prob. So it worked out really well with Sorcerer Supreme. So that's why I have Prisoner 4th, but I just didn't play him. So maybe if I play against a more standard team. But I mean, I feel like Pogs are everywhere. Like even against Mary Jane Watson, I'm gonna debate about Lord Doom so she can't bust a bunch of paparazzi out. But I don't know. Those are my 3: is Doom 1, Lord Doom 2, Sorcerer Supreme 3, but 2 and 3 are interchangeable. And then Prisoner 4. I didn't ever keep Dr. Thing in, and I did play Dr. Doom, DJ Doom once, and I regretted it. So
yeah, so I think McConnell, the answer for beginning of game is really 4, right? It's Doom, Sorcerer Supreme, Lord Doom, Prisoner. Pick your order from there, right? So I played against 2 throughout the course of the week. I did some testing. I played against Doom 67, and his action total limiting was very huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what? Like, it sucks that he can't carry, but like, why is he the first person? Like, why is he a charged flurry piece that's actually good? Is it because of the Battle Fury?
It definitely helps. But
yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of remakers and Carnage symbiotes out there, and I was like, well, I can't roll shape change.
Yeah, I mean, it's good right now specifically because there is a much more. I feel like there's much more shape change than super senses right now. Probably
you know what? I did. Oh my goodness! I never thought about each time Doom hits with a close attack, I minus their defense. I didn't do that a single time during this dang tournament.
When we played you, I said my defense went down 1 whenever you were hit.
Yeah, I probably was oblivious to why you said that. Yeah. I completely missed that. I never used the power make 3 close attacks.
Oh my goodness.
I just didn't. I wasn't. Wow. And that's one power that you really don't get off that often because you're charging in it and you're probably going to kill him the first go around. I could have done it against Nate, I think, but most of the time when I went into charge, I probably killed him. Dan, I probably could have used it against you maybe, but I completely. And that's probably the problem with playing online when you don't have the cards in front of you, because when I'm playing, I'm constantly looking at the cards while I'm playing to be like, okay, well, don't forget this, don't forget that. And I just, looking at his card now, I'm like, wow, I missed out on 2 huge things that I could have beat Tylor with. No, I'm just playing.
All right, so Tylor, just a couple of questions, a couple more questions to go through here. And this is one I was looking forward to answering that I forgot to answer during mine. Jimmy O'Brien asked, were there any games that you wish you had played differently this week? My answer is yes, all of them. Yeah, just wish I had done them all over this week there, Jimmy. So just a complete redo would be good for me.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Mine is the one that I lost. Makes sense.
Would you try to have killed a Watu?
No, I would not have because he was useless. I just wouldn't have taken it. So I went to Lavarian Village, which I shouldn't have done because it generates Pog, so then I can't use Lord Doom to stop his Jason. I should have went somewhere else, and used Lord Doom, because obviously him not being able to make Jason Pog is a big deal. No, that's what I would have changed. That was the biggest mistake, I think, for the weekend.
I think mine is, I thought maybe with PJ, but I think now the more I think about it is with Tylor, man.
That was pretty
the mastermind, not catching the placement thing, but now looking back at Doom, not that he got a lot to do, but you reminded me of the -1 defense, but maybe not taking you to Latveria. I mean, then I wouldn't have gotten the mastermind, but at the same time, you wouldn't have gotten the cat that wiped out Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, the cat wiped out Supreme?
Well, I missed every rollout, man.
Well,
I had 4 or 5 rollouts, and I didn't hit a single one.
I hit with Captain Marvel first though.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Then the cat rolled a 3 on blades or 4 on blades. 4.
So enough to kill you.
Yeah, but yeah, if that one, I probably wouldn't have taken you to Latveria, so I can make sure you didn't get the cat. But I don't know. I mean, I think that one is because that's there was the match against Ken that I forget that tournaments aren't around the same amount of time. Like, this is 45 to 55 minutes that changes. So the round I played against Ken was significantly shorter, like 10 minutes shorter than the match before. So I thought I was pacing correctly, and if I had said I use poison and then I do my attack, then I would have won. But I was making my attacks so that way if I missed, I could still poison and kind of hurt, and there were some other things to do with it. I was worrying about a stop click on somebody else, and I missed that, and so I made my attack, dealt 4 damage, but time was called, and so I didn't get my poison off to kill and win. But I still think the Tylor match was probably the one that I wish I could redo some things. So too many things in Heroclix, man. I mean, this is a good thing, but
So Charles Constant wants to know, Tyler, why didn't you roll with Juggernaut?
Oh, it's sad. I want to say that he doesn't really match my play style. I really like the figure.
Bullshit.
And he plays exactly how I want him to play. Like he's a disruptor, right? He's a super disruptive piece. He's you can't stop him, blah 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 blah. He fits, like, he's comic accurate as hell in my opinion. But like if he didn't have Battle Fury, I would play him on a team very similar to what I'm playing now, and I could carry him up. But obviously I can't, so you have to go more all in, I guess. I don't know. I need to try him again. Definitely he gets a lot better after the rules change, because right now if your object gets stolen, he gets a lot worse. He needs to be equipped for sure. So maybe
you can, but his object will be able to be stolen post rules with DJ Doom.
That's true.
So object stealing. So I think maybe you should test him now.
Well, I've tested him.
I think you probably tested him with the arms, right? You could probably test him with the Necro Sword, right?
Yeah, but why is that better?
Because he can't be stolen, it's 15 points.
He can't be stolen, it's 15 points.
Oh, yeah. True.
Hey, Jason, do you have a team that you've been working on at all yet? If you're there, Jason.
We just lost Jason, actually.
I was gonna
turn off the thing.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I actually hit the off button. Yeah, I've been trying to I don't know, Vulcan.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. I had that Vulcan team talking about Vulcan and 2 Dark Phoenixes and Power Jam on Vulcan.
If you want a team, you should play Juggernaut with Uatu.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And I feel like Tylor would almost spontaneously combust. Just the fact that his championship piece is played with Uatu. And then you need to win. Like, could you imagine how conflicted Tylor would be if you won Worlds with Juggernaut and Uatu?
Nobody is going to win or make cut with Juggernaut and Uatu.
How do you know?
Yeah.
I am stating it. I am placing my honor as a Heroclix player.
I mean, I'm the only person that beat you playing Wales, so
I accept that. Okay,
I could do it.
Here we go. I see. I can foresee the future now. Jason wins Worlds by beating J Major's Power Pack team.
Yes, that's it.
Dash J Major's hopes of running a show.
Oh man,
this is the dream, guys.
Getting deep today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I feel like Tyler's just discounting the Watu way too much.
I really don't think I am. I don't think he's good. I don't think he should be on teams.
I love that this is just going to be a thing until he retires. So
yeah, I don't know.
This is boring. Obviously, if somebody figures out some way to just get the points in 3 turns or something, maybe. But even I'm sort of discounting the mission points. I don't think anybody's going to win with them. And
Well,
just
not as they are right now, maybe. I mean, you don't. It gets better.
Yeah, it
It could
definitely.
get better.
I mean, honestly, I think PJ had a shot, and he only had one dude on there. Like
What if he
watching.
had Herbie on his team?
Yeah, if he had Herbie, some leeches to do the mind controlling.
Okay,
and then,
but you also sidestepped 5 turns in a row, like in that game. So like you did that, and he still got only to 15, right?
16.
Yeah, so there is an important point there. There was a turn, 2 turns before you attacked, Alex, where you could have sidestepped, spin ringed, perplexed range on Dark Phoenix and started killing things.
No, he had Bishop.
Yeah, he had Bishop.
Oh, so that was the thing where you should have went to a different map too, right?
It was one where I could have attacked. I was one space off, like from being able to hit his Molecule Man or something, and I was kind of cursing myself because I'm like, okay, I can sidestep, spin ring. I'm 6 away. That sucks. Like big time.
So, but if you had played that match differently, he wouldn't have gotten Bishop, right? A shard off of Bishop, right?
Right. If you probably I mean it's probably the
he
same
got
thing.
shard later. I don't think he started with shard because he was able to pop out Molecule Man with Jason. So maybe he did. He popped out Molecule Man and shard, and that got him to the quota where he couldn't do any more.
Oh, maybe because he starts with 8, you start with 6, but you'll be a 9. Yeah, you'll be a 9 with the villagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 7 characters. You had 6. So if you popped your own Bishop, then he gets 1 Pog.
Yeah, his team was the one I actually didn't scout ahead of time because we knew the teams ahead of time, and I guess never thought I would go and face him. So when I was expecting teams and I faced him, I was like, oh no, I didn't scout his team at all. Like I didn't think about the matchup.
Right.
So I kind of played it too safe.
So the peasant thing I think would have been a lot better because then he would have only gotten shard but no Molecule Man or any other Jason Pogs.
I mean, I tried to disrupt. I stole his ring, and then I tried to get in his face with the things, but they didn't really do much.
They just let him break away and get mission points.
Yeah, he hit the breakaway like consistently. Well, he had 40 probs, but still.
Yeah, and he got mission points off of the breakaways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. It's one of those things.
I think it's too early to discount it right now.
Yeah.
Discounted already.
Well, so he's
in the bargain bin.
Here's what I know. Here's what I got. Is like Awatsu's already on the Modjeski's ban list.
Sure.
So
that's why.
Because there are more situations in Bronze Age where you're able to manipulate the mission points.
Penguin is banned days, right?
Huh?
Penguin is banned in Bronze Age?
No.
Oh, okay, then he should be. But
right.
yeah,
So
that
there's issues. There's issues with prob of using like multiple defends and multiple attacks and multiple probs, and there's just not a good definition on it. Like Psylocke's currently banned as well, just until she gets an errata or a clarification. So, but I mean, just the fact that he's on that list immediately means that there's inherently powerful things that he's doing. Let's see here. So. Justin, we talked about who's the top Doom. Justin Robinson wants to know who's the top Doom.
62 for me.
That's hard, man. The
62's Dr. Doom. He's the MVP. He's the MVP for you.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry.
Annihilating.
67.
I would argue. Well, I want to say Doom, but at the same time, our teams don't work without annihilating. So it's kind of like.
Yeah.
That's
true.
A lot. But yes, I'll agree with Doom, like as a piece you play.
I am not playing my team with Annihilator if the other Dooms don't exist. He's not good enough to carry the team.
Yeah. And who knows in the future world with new rules where theme teams aren't as needed, and we're limited now to 3 theme team props going forward after new rules, maybe we don't play him and we play non-theme. Probably not, but never know.
And Rick Ryan, he wants to just really hear you shit all over Watu. So
I think I've done that successfully.
And Jay Sanson wants to know, were there any teams that performed well that surprised you?
Trying to think.
Tylor's team. I was just surprised.
Yeah.
My own team.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair answer.
Not mine.
Well,
I guess it's surprised in a bad way. I wasn't thinking about that, but yeah, it was surprising. Trying to think. I mean, at this point, I kind of just have to sort of give up on Doppelganger. Doppelganger's great. I just have to say that I was wrong about Doppelganger.
So what exactly did Doppelganger do? Like I don't think nobody streamed y'all's final match. So what did Doppelganger Prime do that could have yeeted you?
Well, so my first turn is always to move up my team. That's just my first turn always. So what he did is he charged my Forearm Doom and hit him twice I think he killed him with that. Because he perplexed attack and damage a bunch. He was like a 14 for 5 or something like that. So he killed my Doom. The one penetrating killed a Dark Phoenix and I think a Pog maybe. And then he got his second charge off, which killed my other Dark Phoenix. I think he had to hit her twice because I hit him Impervious. But then
that doesn't make sense because he's got Precision Strike.
Oh, then maybe he hit her. Maybe he missed an attack. I think he only killed the one Dark Phoenix with that second attack. But he killed 2 Dark Phoenixes and my Doctor Doom, and obviously he hit attack. So then he brought in a Lex, who is for some reason has 3 damage, and he empowered it up to 4. Oh, that's right, he didn't kill the Doom. The Lex killed the Doom when he came in. But just like with his opening strike, he killed a Phoenix, a Pog, my Chase Doom, and my other Phoenix. And, like that's a pretty good opener for a 65 point character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just does.
But then you pulled it out, right?
I did. It was super close. But I did. Had enough in the tank, I guess, to finish it. Oh.
It was a surprising. I guess
once you get past Doppelganger, right? A lot of the rest of the team's pretty squishy.
I mean, kind of. You're never gonna win an event without getting lucky. So I did get a little bit lucky in that. So I hypersonics on his Richter to attack him. He luckily missed his shape chain or super senses, so I was able to mystics off of him, and then retail his backline, and then
with the third Dark Phoenix.
Correct. And then I was able to triple target. I had her perplexed up twice to a 13 attack. I was able to triple target. I hit the 7. That was what I needed to kill his other Tri-Sentinel. And yeah, the rest of his backline, I killed his Wendigo at that point. And then, so yeah, I essentially just sort of killed everything else except for Doppelganger and his Venom Groot, or Venom Strange, who was very good. Venom Strange is very good. Yeah, but then essentially at that point, my Dark Phoenix has healed up 4, and I still had a full health. What's his face?
Captain Marvel,
and a cat and Valeria. So, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah, Doppelganger.
I'm glad you appreciate the Doppelganger now.
I do. He's very legitimate.
So what you're saying is your track record about whether stuff's good or not is quite not totally perfect.
I am saying that I am a very gracious person. I am willing to admit when I am wrong, and I am not wrong about a Watu. So that should tell you something.
Oh yeah, Venom
Okay.
Strange has TK, leadership.
Yeah, he shoots out of adjacency. He's got good attack stats. He pushes on to outwit if you need it. He can bring in a Venom Groot if he hits and rolls that stupid thing. Yeah, he's really good.
So Tylor, what were you going to say, Jason?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Okay,
Nope.
so Tylor, moving on, you had a rant or a discussion that you wanted to have on the action economy.
I did. I just want to talk about it. I don't know if this is the right place for it. I might actually end up making a full video. I just feel like people miss that part of the game, and it's at least half of the game. Like, so people say that, this is a strategy game, and this is like Heroclix chess, and like that's half of the story. Like, there's obviously strategy elements to it and placement and things like that, but it's a resource management game. It's an economy game. Your actions are your economy, and that's very important. Like, you need to build your team to use your actions as efficiently as possible, so that you can do that by two ways: by either increasing your pool, the pool of your resource, which would be obviously leadership is one, any sort of increase in action totals, and then the other way would be with things like autonomous or free attacks. That just increases the amount of actions you can take a turn, and then the other way is by making your actions as efficient as possible, things like perplex and prob. And it's just like you just need you need to always be aware of that. Of when you use an action, it should be as efficient as possible. It should be able to affect your other team as efficient as possible, or to get you to where you need to go. So like, this is something that this is how I play. It could be different for other people, but I feel like if it's past turn 2 and you're giving a character a move action, to like engage instead of run away, obviously that's different. But if you're giving yourself a move action to engage past turn 2, I feel like you've built your team wrong, or you've been outplayed at some point, because it's such a waste of an action to move when there's things like hypersonic, there's running shot, there's retaliation, obviously, or just an attack. It's just such a waste. That's why I said that leadership is the best power in the game, because it increases your basically your team's output by 33%, and that's why Doom is the best Doom to me, like the 4-arm Doom, because he obviously reduces it by the same amount. So I just think people need to realize that more. That strategy is important, but I would argue more importantly is how you spend the actions that you're allotted, and just try to make them as efficient as possible, essentially, or increase it with free attacks, autonomous, things like that, to where, like, people say tempo, and that's what they mean by tempo. I didn't realize that for a long time. Like, people said tempo, and I had no idea what they were talking about. But that's what they mean, being efficient with your action economy, and you have to take efficient turns, and build your team such that it can do that, I guess.
So does efficient mean timely?
No, efficient means, I'm kind of using it as a heuristic for good. Basically, when I say efficient, it means the most effective use of your action. So, like, if you can do 6 damage to a character, or 2 damage, like, that's the easiest way. If you have somebody that can attack 10 for 2, or somebody that can attack 12 for 6, obviously the most efficient use of your action will be the 12 for 6. But then it goes into like a bunch of other things, obviously. Like, it's not just that simple. You have clicks of life on your enemy, what your enemy, the most efficient thing that you can kill. A lot of times that's, if you have a guy that's double tokened and a guy that's a little bit less threatening but not double tokened, a lot of times it's the right choice to take out the thing that's not double tokened, just because then their next turn is skipped, and that's incredibly valuable to you. So just efficient. It's kind of just like a word. I mean, efficient, effective, however you want to say it. That you get the most use out of the actions that you have.
I think I agree with that. I think there's also a point of efficiency where you have to say, okay, do I trade off some of that efficiency for future efficiency? Which it's not really, I feel like, your play style. Like, your play style is go hard, try to position as best you can, and then prepare to go hard again next turn with whatever's left.
That's absolutely true. This is, it could be a bias for mine for the way that I play, which is fair.
Because I think there's instances where it's like, okay, I could go in all in to take out one figure, but maybe I go half in to weaken him to where he's not that big of a deal, so that way I can still do something turn 3 or something. Like, I now all my people aren't double tokened, and I have some options if things go horribly wrong. Turn 2. Like, if I could be super efficient, but I might have to sacrifice some of that, so that way I am not just sitting there with nothing on turn 3 if things go really bad, or turn 4, whatever. But I agree with what you're saying, and I think it's almost more important now that we have Doom out there that limits your economy down to just 3 costed actions.
Like,
right.
You should never be skipping an action if you have an action to take. I've seen, and like, this comes from me playing Wales. Actually, it's for me playing X-Men before that, and then Wales, and then this new team. They're kind of similar in that they're all tempo, and the main reason people lose to these teams is because they aren't efficient with their actions. Like, I move up, right? I'm just sitting there, and you have to act. You have to limit what I can do next turn as best you can. And a lot of people just like
haven't figured that out.
Yeah, they try to maybe take a half measure, or they just sort of sit back and wait for me to attack because they're surprised by the aggression or whatever. A lot of times that means not equipping. Like, a lot of people have their first turn planned out where, okay, I'm just going to equip these 2 items, and that's my 4 actions, and I'm done. A lot of times you just can't do that because you'll fall too far behind on tempo. You skipped a whole turn, you action 4 of your figures. I actually commented to Paul when in the finals, because I moved up and he went full on aggressive, and I was like, man, you're the first person to go super aggro on me turn 2, and that's the right choice. So hats off to you. And I got some lucky rolls in my second turn to be able to pull myself out of it. But he scored 150 points or something on his opening attack, and he limited a lot of what I could do the next turn, obviously, which is what you got to do. I don't know. I might make a video on it more in depth, but it was just bugging me.
I mean, so I appreciate this. This is a good way. That I'm glad you've solidified your thesis on Heroclix play.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is something that I've talked about over the years. I build my teams to be sturdy and long-lasting, right? So that I continually put my opponent at behind, right? So they're always playing from behind, which means that they always make decisions, the bad decisions, preferably. And so I'm going to be able to take an action with something nearly every turn, and I'm going to just be continuously chinking off that armor. So I think as we approach these new rules, right, I think you and I both have relied on rather large theme teams the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So even if your team now, right, if you lose map, you're in a worse position, right? Because if I get to take my turn to equip and just wait, and then you move up, well, now I'm fully equipped to deal with you, right? Your plan a lot of times is to make sure that your first turn is just moving up, but you're also assuming that you win map.
Right. Yeah. That's why it's such a big deal for
so
Matt.
the theme team is going to be such a big deal for both of our, I think, theses of play as we approach the new rules here. The +3 is not a lot.
It's not. It's going to change the game a lot, and that's why I always said that it was not as much about picking the map. That was obviously incredibly helpful, but it was always about going first because it gives you such a big tempo advantage. It obviously throws off their game. It'll let you have a first immunity for anything in the back that you want to protect. Obviously, mine is retals, right? Because they're it forces them into bad decisions. But
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it was like we've you and I have played a lot of good games over the years, and the one time I beat your map roll with Uni, I wiped your game was done like turn 2. Because I called out 100-point Iceman and killed your Mojo, all of your retail, and wounded a whale.
I don't even remember this game.
Yeah, we played. It was online. It was early in the year of 2020.
Okay.
I
mean, it's a big deal.
I remember it fondly.
Fair.
I often think about it before I go to sleep. So it's like my bedtime story.
Well, I appreciate I could provide that for you.
He's got the Iceman on his nightstand.
Yeah. No, obviously I'm being facetious there, but Tyler's right, and I think that's why the theme team changed so big. In the new rules is being able to pick map and go first with a certain degree of regularity is insanely powerful. And especially when you're not doing it with fluff, you're doing it with things that are there for a reason, which is the second part of your thesis, right?
Yeah, efficiency. You got to build your team to be able to take actions that are beneficial as much as possible.
Right.
What I like, though, is that while we were building teams for this event, and obviously not really thinking about new rules at all, outside of your play style, Tyler, the team I don't think is going to be that negatively affected by new rules. Like, we weren't relying on a location bonus to, like, it was great that we won it when we did, but the location bonus was free. So it's like, okay, if I don't win it, I mean, sure, I lose map and I go second. I get that. But it's not like we built the team like a Barclay team or like something that heavily relied on winning and going to a specific map. It was just cool. Right? +6, we won map a decent amount of times. So neat.
Maybe that is saying something because I actually did win map all but one game against Alex. So that that's probably saying something.
Yeah, so I don't think going into new rules, like, I'll take a look at team again if I decide to play this team again, but I'm not worried necessarily about the team come new rules, at least from a theme team standpoint. I mean, I guess maybe I won't play Annihilator if I don't care about theme team anymore, but who knows?
Right.
Kind of enjoyed the theme team also. So.
All right. Well, let's. What were we gonna say, Tyler?
Really quickly, I also want to say, let me just make sure I can say this. I'm pretty sure that the Doom Chase, whichever one it was the the worst figure on my build. I think it was the least effective thing on my build. I got way more use out of every other piece.
But it also enabled you to have theme team probs in the current rules.
Yeah, it enabled the themes, and then obviously whatever, if I was using Doom, that's obviously a huge map-wide effect that's very effective.
Right.
But just as far as, like, output, I didn't attack with my Dooms that much. Even Valeria was just, like, incredibly helpful. Obviously, she's the leadership, so she has to be there, but her mobility with her Perplex, her able to tie up pieces, her giving a Dark Phoenix Outwit, it's just
right.
So,
But I think part of that also is just the Dooms are like hella not mobile. Like they have running shot, but they're relying on other things to be as mobile as the team you've been playing. Like
yeah,
your
they
team
benefit
is
greatly from a TK for sure.
yeah, and it's like, do I really want to bring this Doom up? Like you did, but it's like, okay, I got to plan around that. But he's not, it's not as mobile as a hypersonic or a long range Dark Phoenix or a self placing Valeria. It's
Right.
just he probably just felt slower.
Yeah,
that's
a lot
why
of times
he's
they
first.
did kind of just get left behind in the middle of the map while I used everybody else. So that's fair. Yeah.
Well, now I will say he was pretty good when you used Lord Doom, just because
Yeah.
he's. But once
He's
again,
very quick.
yeah, he's
but-
got the 9 range or 11 range, whatever it is, charge. So it's like I think it's a mobility thing for you. It probably would have been more effective in our game if you had been able to use Doom, but then again, probably not, right? Because you would have had to manually move him up since you can't carry him. So
Yeah, so it's a trade-off for him for sure. But most games, yeah, it depends. I like him a lot though, obviously for all of the efficiency, action, economy reasons I just mentioned.
Sure. So, we're nearing kind of the end of the show here. I think we just we want to talk about Clix singles prices a little bit. I don't know, at least we've been talking about it in our chat, right, as we've been trying to chase all the Dooms and, the disparity between the super rares in this set right now and the chases. Typically when you have a new set like this, you at least have 1 or 2 super rares that stay around 40, 50.
I was gonna ask, is there any?
Maybe
there he
the
is,
silver,
60.
maybe the Silver Savage fella.
Oh yeah, that one. Watu's $30, 40. He's still going pretty good.
Oh, don't buy a watch. He's gonna drop, guys.
Well, he comes with the best object, the ultimate nullifier. So.
Yeah, that's true. How's High Evolutionary? Just the super rare.
He's 30, 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's around $30.
Okay. So
It's those 3. I don't think
Yeah.
there's really anything else but those
Marquis?
3.
I would
No,
No,
expect.
he's
he's
15.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everything's 30 and below, and then your lowest chase is like
Dude.
60 right now.
I want to say, after I saw Blackbeard sculpt, I want to raise him in my tier list. I like that sculpt that much. It's so cool.
He's still going for 20. But
Yeah.
that's just because
how
it's
cool
well,
that
yeah,
face
that's why it's Blackbeard and he looks awesome.
Yeah. He reminds me for some reason of that knight set that you got as a kid with those chunky little knights in the castle. I don't know if anybody.
No.
That's fine.
But the knockoff Legos,
No. It was like a big Fisher Price castle with black gold.
yeah, I
knight.
know what you're talking about.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't Legos, but
Yeah, I didn't get that.
No, I'm saying that all your friends would have Legos and you would have that. It's not Playmobil or whatever it was called. Maybe it's Playmobil. Playmobil, I think is.
I think it made Fisher Price. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of, just how chunky he is. And I don't know. It looks super cool.
He is a chunkster.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we don't have anything really to talk about there. Doom chases are expensive. It's surprising, but not surprising, I guess.
Well,
surprised.
I think one thing we can mention is. Oh, go ahead, Jason.
It's like one of the DJ Dooms actually sold for like $199.
Yeah, and they're only climbing, it seems like.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I noticed when the set dropped, there just wasn't as many trade and selling posts. It's just the people aren't playing and they aren't trading because nobody feels ownership's really that required. So you just don't see. Everyone wanted the Doom chases. I know chases are a limited, quantity. And
Maybe.
that's why they chase.
Do you think an active meta market, let's call it, or an active market, do you think that would raise or lower a price, right? If it's traded more or less?
So, I think there's a couple things to think about there, and is if we were just completely normal right now, I think, and there was so it's February, right? And there would have been WKOs this weekend to wrap up the February round of WKOs. And everybody would want to be the first one to play Doom chases for legality. I think it's possible that DJ Doom could be trending closer to 250 to 300.
Okay.
Depending on ruins.
Correct, right, which we would have, right? But still,
yes.
Your Sorcerer Supreme Doom, your Conquering Doom, right? All these ones that are hovering around 100, 150 would be trending more towards 200 because your collectors are not stopped or slowed by the range of meta pricing.
Yeah.
And, we're heading into what normally would be gearing up for Nationals in June. So this is the type where it's like, oh, this is very much a meta piece. I need to grab this before we get close to Nationals, whether it be to sell as we get closer or to just get ready for the meta market. Even if it's not a team I might play, I might hold on to it because I might throw something in because it just.
Well, yes, that's my obviously demand would be up if these pieces were required, but based on what you guys are saying, that there's a lot less sales posts, and I've actually heard that from a couple different other people. So maybe supply would be up, or the amount on the market would be up, and that would drive competition, which should lower stuff.
I think it's the opposite. There's not enough supply.
Yeah.
Because there's no out there. Like Jason mentioned earlier, there's one DJ Doom on eBay. Troll and Toad got their stuff late, and it was immediately gone.
Yeah, I'm saying
they have no DJ Dooms.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe the supply is lower because there's less events, I guess. People are buying less.
People are just buying less because they're not playing.
I don't think it's buying less. I think people are buying what they normally buy. They buy from their local. They get their cases. It's just you don't have the aggressive people going out after it or people buying stuff to sell because things aren't selling right now either. Look at the prices for the super rares, how quickly they fell. It's not even a week and they're already down to barely anything, and it usually takes 2 to 3.
I saw a Jason going for 50 something the other day. That seemed crazy to me because he's he's getting better. He's still a top 5 piece, for sure.
I've seen several of him that have been much cheaper than he was back in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just because there's not as many players actively buying and selling. And I think it's mostly competitive players. Because like Dan said, the collectors are going to collect.
It's ownership. You don't have to have it. And people aren't buying it. And people are lowering their prices trying to sell it because they're not moving it.
Yeah, but that sort of flies in the face of these Dooms, right? It seems
the problem with the Dooms is that you need them. To maximize potential, you need most of them.
Right, because they're
good and they're collector's items.
I think there's probably still around 40% of your competitive players that are still trying to collect for the hopeful return of reality.
Yeah, I have not bought any Fantastic Four. I'm just letting
that's right. So, right, and then but Jason, Alex, and I have.
Right. Then there's probably the same amount you guys normally would, right?
No, I'm overbuying.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I am currently in underbuy because Sam is not currently playing. But when it comes to these Dooms, I'm kind of overbuying a little bit because I'm trying to get a few of them for her.
Yeah.
But realistically, we are behind on what we would normally be getting.
Yeah, I just kind of bought them now because I'm afraid they're going to just spike and get higher, and I'm trying to get it on the lower end of the price.
Yeah, that's kind of the fear, right? Because we were talking before the podcast that a lot of these meta pieces might spike, when meta comes back, right? Because people are going to be scrambling to get them. It's.
But so you think if the pandemic ended tomorrow, right, and we had events again, right? I mean, you're going to be scrambling to borrow from us, right? I mean,
I've got to buy because I'm going to be using them for sure.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, right, you might even run into like an issue of being able to buy some of these.
Right, yeah, we're getting to that point.
Yeah, so, and that's just the danger of having chases that all work together so well.
Yeah, I think it's just a perfect storm. Like everything, like there's a list of things that make something expensive, and these dooms obviously hit the top of every one of those lists. Like there's nobody more marketable than Doom, right? There's no chase set that's been more meta than this set that I can think of, right?
I mean, your
KC,
Super Friends. Your
Super Friends, maybe KC a little bit, but they couldn't all be played together.
No. Maybe Super Friends. I don't know.
But they were played on sideline. Well, I guess Doom is too, so I take that back.
Yeah. If it wasn't Doom and he hadn't just come back from a long break,
and you didn't need all of them to play one of them.
Yeah. It's everything together.
Right. Yeah.
Making the price go up.
For sure. All right. Let's round out for today with some closing thoughts. Jason, what do you got for us?
I'm proud of myself that I didn't start snoring during the podcast because I almost fell asleep a couple times.
Yeah, it is getting a little late at night for us. Alex?
Doom.
We need a better name for that, Doom.
Nope, it's Doom. It's not Doom 67.
It is Doom 67.
Doom. No, you guys call it Doom 67. It's Doom. That's how you pronounce it.
Ooh, I just saw somebody post Goro Doom.
That's a good one. I like that. Goro Doom.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see how the Mortal Kombat movie turns out first before we say that.
That's true.
That is true. Tylor?
Yeah, just real quick. I was gonna say obviously Uatu is hot garbage, but I think I realize why now, and it's because of that rant that I just went on. Right? Because he can't do anything with your action. Right? He's useless on action economy outside of maybe a carry or something. Yeah, Uatu's garbage.
Isn't that good though? Doesn't that make you more efficient because you have a figure that could
not
you're
wasting use up 30 points.
He doesn't use up your actions. Doesn't that make you more efficient?
No, I'm not playing a piece that can't do anything. I'm playing a piece. Whatever. Uatu is hot garbage. I stand by it. I'm doubling down.
I love this meat.
Poo. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Clixed Off today, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
See ya.